Do you hear that purring? Dennis is making a little cameo in this recap because my roommates Blank and Blank are out of town this week and Dennis has been super lonely. And if you've ever wondered why there's an orange tint to my closet, it's because I covered the exposed bulb with what is a jack-o'-lantern. And you wanna know what Dennis does? He finds the one empty spot in my shoe thing right here and just squishes in. We came back and our first rehearsal was actually all of us getting together and watching the movie The Perks of Being a Wallflower. And when we watched Perks of Being a Wallflower, we kept relating the main character, Charlie, to both CB and Beethoven in different ways. And at the end of the movie, we had group discussion. I did not want to share something about myself with the group of people, but then it felt like this had been the 10th opportunity to just go ahead and spit out my own personal trauma. And everyone was very sweet about it. We did not dwell on it very long, which was nice. I'm with a group of people that I can trust to respect that side of me. What are you doing behind me? I'm sorry to hear about your dog, man, but you could probably use that to get some... You get the joke? That makes sense to probably 5 people. Yes, you're a very good boy. Well, you're not a good boy, but I still like you. Okay. Goodbye. He just likes chilling on the bottom shelf of this. There's no shoelaces here for you to chew on anymore. We actually kind of know what our set is gonna be, which it's actually just blocks, if I'm to understand this correctly, and then the keyboard that my friend Forrest lent me to play for this show. And we're gonna be drawing with chalk on the set. I don't know what that's gonna look like yet. As of today, which is, I think, the second whole week of rehearsal we've had back, all of my scenes have been blocked, which is great. Dennis is now immersed in a bunch of grocery bags. Actually, before we got back into our rehearsal phase, myself, Molly, and Carson got together twice to make sure that we had our lines going, and we even had a little chance to practice the piano bit a little bit. I have been busting my butt getting that piano music down, and I've actually memorized the whole entire prelude in E minor. What I really enjoyed about the show is it has been a challenge, and the challenge for me has been this piano music. And now Dennis is playing with my robe. There has been a lot more bonding going on amongst the cast, and it's great because it feels like being at Penn State with No Refund Theater all over again. I really missed having a college-age theater posse. There was a promotional event for our first week back where there's Broken Mike, which is this local poetry event hosted by Power to the Poetry, which is run by Bethany Montgomery, who's actually Van's sister in our show. And I've actually seen her perform poetry in the past, and she actually inspired me to participate in 3 Minute Mike, which is another local poetry event. Are you nesting? What are you doing? I hope it's not off-putting, but in my closet, I still have this axe. Here's Johnny! I thought at first that startled Dennis, but that actually just made him excited that he had something to swing back at. Want to play with it? He just likes it. So before that poetry event, some of us went out and got dinner beforehand and then walked over to the event. Today we had our costume fitting, which this is the costume that I ended up with. Insert footage here, John in editing. I have been working on doing my bruise for the show because I have a bruise for the show. I don't know if I'm taking off some of the bruise as the scenes progress because a few days go by. In order to make this happen, when I start the bruise, I have to cake on a whole bunch of makeup, and then I take a bunch of it off and I blend it, and I look like Zuko from Avatar until the final product. And then I came home and I was making food, and the guy who owns my house, his girlfriend was coming downstairs and she starts talking to me, and then she's like, oh my god. And I had to assure her that it was for the play, which unfortunately she and my housemate that owns the house are not able to come see the show because they're actually leaving town on the exact same day. But we'll see if Dennis's mom and dad, who are my other roommates, will come to the show or not. We shall see. Dennis, stop it. So yeah, there was all sorts of buffoonery today as we were doing a photo shoot advertising our show at Nito Burrito. I don't have many lighthearted scenes in this. They're all pretty serious, but my one that's kind of silly is between me and Erin, who is CB's sister. She takes my earbuds and puts them in, starts listening to them, and then I just take the plug out of my phone and walk away so the music stops for her. I thought it was pretty funny. Dennis, you're not a mountain man. You can't climb. We have one more week of rehearsal and then it is tech week. I've talked to my agent about relocating to LA. And she's actually quite supportive of either LA or Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia. My agent said that I am ready. And no pun intended. My last name is Ready. And now Dennis is trying to take the axe out of my hands. You're not getting it, Dennis!